know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Jerry and Jamie 2 Up. My name is Jerry, and we are on episode number 4 of our podcast. And today we have a very special guest who's going to be joining us. Is Jamie will actually be doing her scooter segment here. So stay tuned for that. But first, we're going to go ahead and kind of go through what we're going to talk about, and then we'll get Jamie in here to join us. So again, thank you for supporting the podcast, and a special shout out to Nomar Moto Lifts, Plano Kawasaki Suzuki in Plano, Texas, and the MSTA, and of course the wonderful Ozark Escape rally that's happening in May. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So in this episode, we're going to talk about upcoming events again, and we're going to talk about the photo challenge a little bit. Then we're going to be looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly of Suzuki, not Honda. I didn't change it on the slide, but um, we'll be talking about the Suzuki lineup this week. And then we'll be having a quick conversation with Jamie about her scooter journey and her thoughts on that. So I know a lot of you have been wanting to have her included, and I do as well. So it's going to be nice to have her on here. So let's go ahead and get started here. We just went over last week with the Ozark Escape, the Tusky Muskie, and the Georgia event in Dillard. So I'm going to jump ahead to a new, um, and it's not new. It's the MSTA Star event that's happening in Williamsport, Pennsylvania on October 4th through the 8th of this year. Registration will open April 1st, and at that time, you'll be able to get the room rate at the hotel and all of that thing. But we have some exciting news. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink up this screen and go to the event page. So, first of all, if you guys are looking for events, you just have to go onto the Ride MSTA website, click on calendar and schedule, and you will be able to see all of the events in by each month. So, as you can see, these are the events happening in April. But we are going to talk about the STAR event that is taking place in October. So, for that, you would just go ahead and click on STAR, and there's a link right there. You just go right to the STAR webpage. What we're going to do is here's the STAR webpage. And again, registration will open on the 1st. If we scroll on the webpage, we can see that we have some exciting news about the motorcycle raffle that we're going to do. So let's go check that out. So the MSTA raffle bike this year will be the Honda Transalp 750. It's Velocity Cycles is helping us out with that. We've already purchased the motorcycle, and it will be the raffle motorcycle for 2025. So stay tuned on how to get tickets and all of that. But I really think that for this group, that is a fantastic motorcycle. It's a great sport touring bike, and you can get off into the remote parts of the country like a lot of us have been doing who have kind of tiptoed into both of those avenues. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you go bookmark the ridemsta.com/star site, and we will have all the updated information on there. We will be going further on into the thing. We're staying at the Genetti Hotel and Suites. We'll have more information here. You can go here though and check out the website for the hotel. Again, please don't sign up because you won't get the rate until April 1st that we have negotiated. So you don't want to go. You don't want to go early. There will also be camping available, and there will be more information on that coming up soon. We also will have the same thing like we do every year. There will be routes available, and we'll find riding partners for you if you want to, and we'll have an ambassador program, and there will be tons and tons of routes online. So make sure you keep going back and checking out the website to make sure when you can sign up and to for all the news that's going on. We'll have a lunch ride that we haven't announced yet, but we'll have that on there as well. So just go check out the Ride MSTA site and keep an eye on the Star. It's going to be a fabulous event podcast here. And the next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about Suzuki's lineup. So last week we talked about Honda and how it wasn't real inspiring. And this week we are going to talk about Suzuki, and I'm a lot more satisfied with this lineup than I am with Honda's lineup. And some of these bikes actually excite me. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go look at their website, and we're going to kind of go through all their machines, and then I'm going to give you my good, the bad, and the ugly for what I think. But the lineup rating right now, I gave them a 3.9 out of 5. They've got a lot of cool machines out, and it looks like they're trying to do more. And so, I'll be honest with you, 4 or 5 years ago, I really thought Suzuki was in trouble, and they seem to have bounced back very well. And I think the reason for that is using the same multiple motors and different types of machines. So the costs they haven't had to go out and redo motors. They've just put the motor in different models, which is a brilliant idea. So let's go look at the website and we will see what we think of their site. So we go over to Suzuki's website. And the first thing is it loads very well, which is good. Very colorful. It grabs you a little bit. Um, so I really do like the presentation of it. We're going to go look at models now. So we're going to go look at, first thing, we're going to look at the dual sports. And folks, this is good news and bad news for Suzuki. So they're coming out with this DRZ, which looks incredible. The only thing I'm a little hesitant about the DRZ is, and it looks great, is the price tag. $8,900, almost $9,000 for a 400cc dual sport. Now, some of you may be saying, well, that's not horrible. I guess I'm looking at it compared against a couple of the others, especially the kind of like the key dual sport that's in that genre, and that's the Royal Himalayan, which it's got an upgrade up to 450. It's less than $7,000. Granted, it probably doesn't have the power and everything that this has, but again, off road, I don't know how much power you really, really need. I know it's never been something that I've really focused on when I'm looking for a dual sport. And then I guess my thing is when you compare it to the new KTM 390 Adventure R, which has all the bells and whistles as just like the Suzuki, if not more, but a price point of basically $1,000, almost $2,000 cheaper. So I think it's going to be hard for them to, and it's not the horsepower and everything is not any better than the KTM. So I don't know if the DRZ is going to take over that market, but I do like the idea that they've actually jumped into the dual sport pool, and it does look like a very nice machine. So looking forward to that. Let's go back up here and look at the DRZ 650. Look, it is what it is. Very reliable machine. It's a great price tag, $7,100. That's still a very viable option in the dual sport market. I'm not a super moto guy, but man, check this out. Based on the DRZ platform, it looks really, really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing this in person. Again, $8,900. It's a little pricey, but it looks pretty damn cool. So we'll have to see how that looks, and looking forward to seeing that. So if we go to the sport bike category, I think this is look, we all know about GSXRs, the Hayabusa, the old Katanas. I've owned a Katana and a GSXR, and they were great machines. The new GSXR 1000 looks like it's a wonderful machine. I'm not real impressed by the styling of it, but it does look really good and for a really nice price point. What does excite me is I really like the 750Z. I had an old 750. I like the look of this, and for the performance and the price, you're getting a lot of motorcycle with that bike. But when we go look at the other ones, I think the 600 is a great price point as well. You get a lot of motorcycle for the bang. And then they do have an entry level, kind of like 250, 300. We're going to talk about that a little later. I think they're really missing the ball on that motorcycle. Now we go to the street category, and I think this is where they really, really improved. I know some of you may disagree in some of the looks, but the 1000 GT Plus for $15,000 is a fantastic machine. It's not the best looking machine, but it is a very nice machine, and the price point is really good. I've seen a couple of them on the road. They seem to be very good. I know some club members here in the MSTA. I know they have them, and they seem to like them. So I'm really excited about that motorcycle. I think they've done a good job there. I like the red color actually. So that's what they are considering. I'm sorry, I went too far. We're at the street, so I shouldn't have done that. I should have jumped on that. They do consider that part of the street version there. But last year's raffle bike, the 8S, that has become a huge seller for them, and it is a great looking machine. And for the price point, $9,200, I would actually like to have one to zip around here in Arkansas with, as I really think that's a cool looking motorcycle, and I love the color and everything. The 8R is about $600 more, but it's a little more hardcore when it comes to riding position and everything. So I will tell you the ugliest thing, and I don't know why manufacturers do this. These tail sections are awful. I mean, that's just horrible. So first thing I would do is go buy me an eliminator kit and get that piece of junk off the back of it. That's just awful. But I like the styling of the GSX 1000, and for $11,000, that's an incredible buy. And then if you look at the other GS models, the GSX models, I really like the 750. I don't know if I could ride it. The seating position is pretty tough, but it looks cool. And for 8,600 bucks, this is cheaper than the DRZ Dual Sport. So if you keep that in mind, that's kind of crazy. Um, but they've done a good job there. Again, we'll go back sport touring. They only put one bike in their sport touring category, and I think that's a mistake because I do think that what they consider a crossover should be in the sport touring, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But one thing I love about this bike is the $14,000 price tag. Um, if I wasn't riding two up with Jamie a lot, this probably would be one motorcycle on my list, just because of the price. I love the motor, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the looks, but I ride a Versus now, so it's not the prettiest machine either. So let's go look at the what they consider crossover. And I have to laugh because I rode this motorcycle and it's great. Um, you're never going to take this bike off road. It's not a crossover. It's a sport touring motorcycle. It's an adventure sport touring motorcycle. It sits up high. It's got a GSXR or GSX 1000 motor in it. It's got a Gen 5 motor. They're phenomenal. The best quick shifter ever. I will I haven't rode a bike that has a better quick shifter, and I've rode the BMWs, the Ducatis. Nothing has beaten this Suzuki quick shifter. The price is a little tough, but again, they all are. The Versus is like 19,000 with all the bells and whistles, and this has all the bells and whistles. It's still cheaper than a lot of the BMWs and Ducatis with the same bells and whistles. Again, the styling, I'll let you guys decide whether you really like the styling or not on that. We go back and we look at the cruiser line. Now, I will say the cruiser line for Suzuki is kind of weird, right? You go from these old classic looking machines to the Boulevard Boss, which no, I'm not going to ride one, but it looks cool, and the price tag is 16,000. It's all right. It looks cool. Like I said, it's not my thing, but it looks good. The rest of these I have no interest in riding a 50. No, it just doesn't do much for me, and it just and the bad, it's an 800 cc motor, but it just I don't know, just doesn't do much for me. We go back and we look, and I think then we've got I think this is the best category that Suzuki has, and this is their adventure category. And folks, the V-Strom is probably one of the most underrated machines on the planet. It is real. I remember riding my brother's 650 V-Strom 20 years ago, and that motorcycle was unbelievable. And I'm sure they've only gotten better. I've ridden the 800s, and I mean, right now the 800 touring is, I don't know if there's a better value on the market. $10,500, and it is a fabulous machine. Again, the styling, I'll leave that up to you. I really don't like their top case, but the motor's phenomenal. It's got plenty of power, a good price point. I haven't ridden the bigger one, but again, it's a little bit on the heavy side, and I don't know. I think I'd like the 800 a little better, but this class of bike is just, it is so good. And then, they've got so many models of it, which it'll fit whatever you want to do with the bike. The 650s, I really like the 800, but the 650s are also big sellers. I mean, if you look at this 650 V-Strom is only, I think they 89, so it's $800 more than the DRZ 400. To me, there's not a comparison. So, but again, I haven't ridden the DRZ 400, but and we'll see what the road tests are on those. But right now, I don't know. I just, that bike's kind of baffling. But the V-Stroms, they're great motorcycles. So I'm not going to look at the motocross or the off-road. I will take a look at the scooters, just because we are now a scooter family. The Bergman, uh, Jamie's not a big fan of the styling of it. I think she's going to want to go to a bigger one, which is a 400. But I think the Bergman's probably not the first one she's going to look at. She really we liked the BMW, which was really nice, and then the Yamaha is really nice as well. But Bergman is a classic. It still looks like a classic for one thing, but they get great reviews and everything. So that's kind of a quick look at the line for Suzuki. So now we're going to look at my good, the bad, and the ugly for the line. So the good, the GSX S1000 GT, like I said, I rode it. A phenomenal quick shifter. The motor is unbelievable. The seat was a little uncomfortable, and it was vibey, which is unfortunate. But so was the BMW XR when it first came out, and now they fixed that. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But the good is the GSX S1000 GT. The other good is, I think you guys probably figured this out, is the V-Strom 800 DE. Really like this machine. I think it's a great motorcycle, and it's a true dual sport if you wanted a heavier motorcycle. The other good is the S1000 GT. Again, not a big fan of the way it looks, but the motor, the reliability, and the price point make it really, really good. Now we're going to go to the bad. Oh no, we got one more good. I'm sorry. The GSX-8S. That's also, so that's four goods. I think I had two or three goods for the Honda, but the GS8S, the one we gave away at the rally last year, is a great little machine. The bad, the Suzuki C50T. Uh, I don't see them on the road. Maybe they're still selling them. I love the white wall tires. That's awesome. But yeah, maybe it's just because it's not my thing, but to me that's probably the worst motorcycle in their lineup. And now the ugly is going to surprise you. And because I know some of you think they're good-looking motorcycles, but oh, I teased you there. We're going to do the ugly here in a minute. The bad is the GS250R ABS. This bike is overpriced, underpowered. It's a torture chamber for the seat and the seating position. There's so many other better motorcycles out there for the introductory market. The 300 Honda, the 400 Kawasaki. There's just so many better entry level motorcycles out on the market than this motorcycle. I like the look of it, but other than that, it's kind of gutless, and yeah, I'm not a big fan. So now we go to the ugly that I teased you on before. So I know some of you are going to think I'm crazy, but that's the Hayabusa. I've never been a fan of the look of this motorcycle, and they threw on this big old can. and I don't know. I just don't think it's a very good looking motorcycle. I know it appeals to a certain crowd, and they sell a boatload of them, but it just doesn't do much for me. So that's the ugly from Suzuki's lineup. So tell me what you think. Do you like Suzuki's lineup? Do you think I'm crazy about Suzuki's lineup? What bike do you consider good, bad, and ugly out of the lineup? And if you were going to buy one, what would you buy? Because here's what I would buy. I would buy the GS 1000 GT Plus. If I was going to purchase today, that's the motorcycle that I would buy. I really wanted to like the adventure style bike, but it just price point and the I don't know, it just didn't hit me right. I'm sure it's a great motorcycle, but this motorcycle just really kind of jumps out at you a little bit. And we talked about the Hondas about how there's nothing that really kind of shoots out at you. I think Suzuki's got two or three models that really jump out at you. Even the DRZ4, I think that's going to jump out and get some people too. So that's it for my Suzuki lineup. So tell me if I'm crazy and let me know. So now we're going to go ahead and get Jamie in here and we're going to talk about her scooter and have a little conversation with her. So stay tuned. Hey, everybody, we're back. And look who's with me. And I know you guys thought that I was just teasing you and always telling her that she was going to be on the channel, but here she is.
I'm finally back. I have been without a voice for the last week, and so it's nice to actually be able to vocalize.
So yeah, so she's been out of school all week except for Monday because we've had some snow here. So I figured I would finagle her into coming on here today, and we'll talk about her first segment here on our podcast. So Jamie, so first of all, how do you like your new scooter?
I honestly love it more than I thought I possibly could. Um, it was definitely a new direction, and it took a little bit of wrapping my mind around. You know, in my mind, when I got my license, I wanted to be on a motorcycle. And I'm still on 2 wheels. It is not anything that I was frowning upon it, and I don't know why, but in my mind, I felt like I needed to be on a motorcycle, and I just wasn't comfortable with it.
I really think that, and one of the things I remember when you came home on the Z400 and you were so excited, but we also did have apprehensions about how heavy it was and how tall it was and that sort of thing. So, um, have you? What do you? Was it a good choice to go to the scooter, or do you regret doing it? What are
Oh,
your thoughts?
no, it was 100% the best choice to go to the scooter. For those of you who don't know me, I'm only 5'2", and so even the little Z400 was just still on the tall side for me, even on the lowest setting. And so I was on the balls of my feet. It was, top heavy, and then having to go through all of the shifting and the brakes and like we talked on our ride a couple weekends ago, having to have all of your extremities working at the same time in different facets on that motorcycle is way different than being in a car and shifting gears. So, I had my mindset that I could do it because I grew up in a standard vehicle and it just was different.
So I mean, I really, I was very happy that she decided to go this direction. Uh, the Z400, we had it 2 years, had less than 1,000 miles on it when we sold it.
And you put all those miles on.
Yeah, and I put those on, and I look like a big bear on a bicycle on the thing. So, that poor suspension was never so happy as when I got off of it. So, but when we decided to go to the new scooter, our friends at Plano Kawasaki Suzuki got one in, and so I just shot a note over to AJ, and we just kind of did a swap for the two,
Mhm.
and it's been fantastic. Jamie's really enjoyed riding her scooter.
Oh, so much.
And I think the thing is she's just more comfortable. I think that's
Yeah.
part of it's just comfortable. And I was really happy with the support that she got from other like MSTA members,
Mhm.
everybody we talked to. So tell us a little bit about that. Like Brad's wife. I mean, if you guys don't know Janie, right? Do I say
Janine.
it? Janine? She's amazing, and she rides a little scooter,
Hmm.
and she kind of inspired Jamie a little bit.
Like I said, I had in my own mind a certain way of looking at it. And once I got past that, and getting on the scooter, I felt comfortable immediately. And just all of the people who rallied around, I thought a lot of people were going to kind of give me a hard time and, oh, you're only on a scooter, not on a motorcycle. And it was quite the opposite. Everybody was just excited to see me ride, and they've been 100% supportive. And Kate and Dustin, when we met them, and we just having that support and knowing that I can ask anybody for advice. And yes, it's different, but I'm still on two wheels. And I, we got out on it a few weeks ago, and I felt more comfortable getting on it after being off of it for a couple of months than I did even when I first got on it. So, I know it was the right choice.
We're really looking forward to look, she's still going to ride two up with me a lot. I know a lot of people uh, had said that she probably would want to ride on her own after that, but um, I mean, what are your thoughts? You still want to ride two up, right?
Oh, I do. There is something to be said about riding your own two wheels, and I thoroughly love it. And I want to continue, and I do want to get into a bigger scooter eventually. But I enjoy being on the bike with you, and I think, some of our best bonding that we have. And I'm kind of carefree on the back seat. I don't have to think about anything, and I get to take pictures, which is awesome because I'm kind of the historian of our trips when I do that. And if I'm on my own two wheels, I can't do that as easily.
And we really do. Eventually, we probably will get her a bigger bike because it would be nice to be able to do a longer road trip
Mhm.
with the two of us. But we are going, so stay tuned. We are going to do some weekend trips on the little 160. It'll go, what, 75 miles an hour?
It hit 70.
Yeah, 70. It won't go that fast with me on it. But with her, it'll go that fast. But we're going to do some trips. She's actually going to start a little YouTube channel, so she's going to have a YouTube channel called Her Scooter. But we're going to ease into that because I'll do a lot of the filming at the beginning because I want her to concentrate on writing.
Hmm.
And one of the cool things about the two of us riding together is the intercom system's nice.
Hmm.
We don't talk back and forth a lot, but it's one of those things that we could kind of bounce things off each other. And I think she's got a new respect for riding two wheels, understanding what it takes. I know a lot of people who, oh, it's no big deal. When you got to start using all your extremities to ride a motorcycle, and then you have to pay attention to everything else that's going on out there, it's pretty tough. So we're going to have a couple more questions for Jamie, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because we're already past our allotted time. So if you had to so what's your goal for riding the scooter? Like what do you see over the next year? What do you see your goals are for riding the scooter?
Over the next year, I would like to become more comfortable, just in my own writing, but also to have you more comfortable with me on it, so that if I wanted to go out with Janine on a ride, or, somewhere, and, a ladies' ride or something, it wouldn't always have to be with you. Um, I enjoy riding with you, but, that's part of the freedom of it, right? And
I think she just kicked me to the curb.
no. Um, but I would like to I do like some of the bigger scooters that we've looked at. Like you said, the Bergman is not probably my top choice, but I also haven't really sat on it either. I do like the Yamaha, and so I do look forward to growing into a bigger scooter and being able to take some road trips.
I really think that I'm excited to see her grow and do that as well, where she's confident enough to, hey, I want to ride it to work today, or I want to, go and that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. We are going to go do so right after the Bull Shoals rally. There's a huge scooter rally here called Scoot in the Ozarks,
Mhm.
and Brad and Janine turned us on to that last year.
Yep.
And so this year we're going to plan on doing that a couple days. I think we're just probably going to go from Bull Shoals and go right over there. Get Jamie to take at least Monday or Tuesday off so we could just go do the scooter thing. Brad and I can go ride our little bikes, and the scooters can go do the scooter thing. So on a closing note, what would you want to say out there to everybody who maybe they're on the fence about buying a scooter or riding a scooter? What would you say to them?
I would, if you are a newbie to riding and not sure what you want to do, I would honestly say get on a scooter and get the idea of the road and the traffic and all of that under your belt. Um, with that being said, I don't know that I will ever go to a regular motorcycle because not having to worry about the shifting and all of that, I'm okay with that now. I think I'd rather enjoy the ride than have to stress about a lot of that. If you're already on a bike and you're used to all of that, it's going to be just kind of a sit back and enjoy kind of relaxation, I would think.
Well, I have to say, I've ridden it a couple times. It's a little too small for me, but a 400, I could see myself riding it all the time around town and just
Mhm.
doing. I mean, she gets like 65 miles a gallon. It's ridiculous. And it seems like I'm always filling up, and she's just do 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 do, just doing her thing. Um,
It has a lot of pep off the line.
well, it
And
has a lot of pep off the line because Jamie has a very solid wrist when it goes to taking off.
well, I'm saying it has power. You're
It
not
has a lot of power when Jamie's riding it. Jamie's got the open and closed throttle syndrome going on, and which she's gotten much much better.
yes.
But she does like the whoop, and she's gone. I'm like, whoa, hey, let me go catch up now. And but well, so folks, we are going to have her scooter segment every week that we do the podcast. Now, it's not going to be just talking about scooters. We'll have motorcycle conversations and that sort of thing. So if you have a topic that you want to ask us about, just send it to us and let us know. We do a lot of two up riding together. We do a lot of touring together. We have a great trip planned in the summer. So we are actually going to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary, and which is crazy that she's put up with me that long.
Mhm.
But we are going to throw the bike into a trailer. We're going to go to Seattle. We're going to hang out with a friend for a week. We're going to go do this week cruise to Alaska, and then we're going to ride for a week in Washington and up in the Pacific Northwest, which we've never done together.
We're gonna be on the Versus.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that. Our friend Bob Graham is going to kind of be our personal tour guide, and we're really looking forward to that. But we will be going. You'll see Jamie at the Ozark Escape.
Huh?
She may take her scooter, depending on if other people go on the scooter, so they could do their thing. Um, she won't be at Star just because it's during school,
Yeah.
and it's just too much time for her to take off at that time. But she'll be at the Ozark Escape. We'll do a couple more. She'll do Bull Shoals for
Mhm.
sure. We'll do the Byway Boogie, which you guys have to stay tuned for because Bob Burdett is taking that rally to the next level. It's going to be fantastic. And then you guys will see me out bouncing around over the summer and stuff. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up Jamie's segment. So um, thanks for watching. Send us questions and let us know about what you want to talk about with Jamie and I. And again, we really want to thank you guys for supporting us and for subscribing to the channel. We've got like 1,150 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed,
Make sure you smash the bell, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and pass us along to your friends.
it's free. Doesn't cost anything.
Doesn't cost anything.
So until next time, everybody, be safe, be kind, and let's ride.
Have,
Bye.
have fun.
No limit to what we can do.